In this video, we will talk about how to calculate years across BC and AD. Before we go to the calculation part, let us first revise what BC and AD is. So, Gregorian calendar divides history into two parts, AD and BC, using the birth of Jesus Christ in AD 1. So, for example, in BC, 500 BC, it will mean 500 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, and 50 BC will mean 50 years before the birth of Jesus Christ. The larger the number in BC, the earlier the time is, or the year is. As for AD, for example, AD 10, AD 100, it will mean 10 years after the birth of Jesus Christ and 100 years after the birth of Jesus Christ, respectively. So in this case, the bigger the number, the more recent the year is. So basically, we will need to be first clear of what the concept of BC and AD is about. Then, the typical question you will see in your form test or exam will be that to ask you to find the year. For example, Tom died from when he was born and how long he lived. For this type of questions, I usually recommend drawing a timeline with AD1 in the center because it is the birth of Jesus Christ, and then mark down the year the person is born. And for example, in this case, because he was born in 10 BC, so it means 10 years before the birth of Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ was born in AD 1. That's why between 10 BC and AD 1, there's 10 years. Because he lived for 50 years, so we still need to deal with the next 40 years. For the next 40 years, because there's no year 0 for AD, that's why we just continue adding up the years from AD 1, which is 1 plus 40. That's why we can find out the answer is AD 41. So basically, Tom died in AD 41. As this timeline is very useful to double check your answers, I always recommend drawing it before the calculation in order to make sure you are on the right track. The next type of question we always see is about finding out when someone is born from the year he died and how long he lived. For example, in this case, Dave died in AD 50 and lived for 60 years. When was Dave born? So this type of question, we need to do it backwards. Again, let's draw the timeline. This time, we will have to work backwards because this time we have the day he died, so we need to find out when he was born. Again, be reminded there's no year 0 for AD. So we just need to deduct AD 1 from AD 50 to find out the years between the two years, which is 49 years. Then, for the rest of the years, which is 60 years minus 49 years and 11 years left, because it's 11 years before AD 1, which means before the birth of Jesus Christ, so we can directly know that he was born in 11 BC, 11 years before the birth of Jesus Christ in AD 1. This is the end of this video. Thank you for watching.